Kevin and Noah, and this is our review app upgrade. So Noah will talk about the create account.
So we got the create account to work. So we're gonna go ahead and throw some values in here, and then when you press submit, it updates into our API into our cluster under users. We also added a phone number field, which is useful for something we'll explain later. So we're gonna go ahead and sign in here, and then Kevin's gonna explain another function upgrade that we made.
Yeah, so earlier when we enter the account, we have a new object here that's reloaded that was just created based on what we placed in. And for what happens is if we want to try log in with this, we have like test@test.com, and the password was 123. But we can review the password by click on this button, and it will disable it again as we click over it. So once we press submit, we'll go in. We didn't change anything inside here, but what we did do was, if I could go back out, I could sign out, and then I click sign in, and let's say I forgot my password. I can click on my forget password button, and I'm gonna use the first example because it's my phone number. So it will send me a text message giving me a new password for my account. So when we see in the database, it posts and it sends this. This will be the code I'll be sent on to my text message as soon as it comes in. It's a bit slow. 3, 3, 4, 5. Let me try that again. That was a timeout.
Should load now.
Okay, so I got a number 9114. I go back over, and now if we look at the hash here, it's M5XKM as an ending. If I refresh this, wait, oh, sorry, this is the right one. Oh, yeah, it is. If I refresh this, we see that the hash is changed, and that once we place in our email, test user at example.com, and then I type in my new password, which is 8914, press submit, and I'm in. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about the code.
Alright, we're gonna do this quickly, so for the sake of time. Whoops. Anyways, so in the create account.js, this is in the mobile directory under the screens. We just created new state variables, first name, last name, email, password, phone number. Those are all going to get pushed into the function save data. So in each of the fields, whatever the user input is, we're saving it to the state, and then that input is being pushed into our save data function. And then if we go to index.js, I created, this is in the server side of things under API, I created a new folder called users and a new file called index.js. This is where we're actually posting the data to the database. So we have app.post, and then we're going to connect to the database, and then we're going to pass those values in. So we return the user.create. That's what actually creates it.
Okay. For the sign-in portion, when we saw the I in the beginning, this I portion, it's being generated by this touchbar opacity, which has a style of the following. Oh, sorry, wrong one. oh sorry, this so I combine it with a text field, so it's linked on top of the password, so it's adjacent to it. So I added trinary function where if show password, which is a Boolean operator, if it's true, then we show the password. If it's false, then we don't show the password. And the icons are displayed by using a library called Amazing Icon, font Amazing Icon, and we just pass in the name of the image we're looking for, and it just gets the value. Size will just change the sizing of it, and these onPress will change the Boolean value of the show password. And then following the lost password. So once I click in the sign in, if I click on the forgot password, this forgot password isn't wrapped in a touchable opacity. So once it clicked, we navigate into the lost password screen. The lost password screen just has a text field for the phone number and a submit button. But this submit button will go send to the recovery password, which is an API call that we just send the phone number to. Once we get here, we take the phone number and we find the data that associates with that phone number. We have some error checking, and we generate a random code from a 4-digit random code using this function. And we pass it into the object we found, and we save it. Once we save it, then we send it off to the database. And at the end of that, after we send it, we send a text message to the user. So this is a default phone number that will be sent on to any user who receives the phone number. And this phone is the phone number that a user puts in. And they will say your password is the code that they got for the 4-digit. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for our app upgrade. And yeah, bye.
Thanks.